Dr. Schwegel, thank you for being here. The United States fiscal outlook is worsening under a rapidly growing national debt driven by chronic overspending. Our gross federal debt is now more than $38 trillion, 121% of GDP, and is projected by CBO to reach nearly $60 trillion by 2035 if we fail to act. Is that correct? That is correct.
Yeah, yes, sir, that's correct.
$60 trillion.
That's in our long-term budget outlook. I don't have.
Is that sustainable?
Right. No, sir, the trajectory is unsustainable.
It's not sustainable. So at some point, we're going to have a fiscal crisis in this country because of the national debt. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you have an estimate as to when that would happen?
No, and that's the challenge, is that we have a problem, it's unsustainable. We can't say when or what will spark.
Have you ever read the book by Ray Dalio called How Countries Go Broke, The Big Cycle?
I haven't read that, no.
I suggest that you do. I think it will give you some great insight.
Yep.
He came before this committee, and we had a great conversation. He said 3 years.
When did he say that?
April of this year.
April of this year, okay.
So this makes it more critical than ever for Congress to have a transparent, accurate, and accountable Congressional Budget Office. Yet recent projections have fallen short. In 2023, the CBO underestimated the deficit by more than $1 trillion. Further, the so-called Inflation Reduction Act gave the IRS nearly $80 billion in new funding, which the CBO estimated would yield $7.1 billion in additional revenue by 2024. Well, 2024 has come and gone. The Treasury reported only $1.3 billion, just 18% of the CBO's estimate. CBO also significantly underestimated inflation, initially projecting 2.5% for 2022 before later revising it to 6.1%. That is a 150% error rate by the CBO. One important way to strengthen the CBO's accuracy and accountability is to ensure outside organizations can replicate its results and modeling. I recognize that CBO has taken meaningful steps toward greater transparency. So, Dr. Schwegel, are there any legal barriers, or any other barriers for that matter, that prevent the CBO from releasing its models and underlying data?
For some, there are. Some of our models use confidential data. Our healthcare analysis has some confidential data. Our tax revenue analysis uses confidential data. For others, there's not. The tariff model, and I know I know we're going to talk about tariffs at some point today or some other time. Our tariff modeling is all open source, and we're going to put that up on our website in the future. So it's a mix.
Okay. So will CBO then commit to maintaining and improving transparency so that independent experts can replicate your analysis? Because if independent experts cannot replicate what you're doing, all right, then there's no audit of CBO.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And I'll tell you one other place it's come up. So I agree with you. As an example, our modeling of the impact of changes in taxes on investment. So in the 2017 Tax Act, TCJA, and then this one, we have been having discussion with our outside economic advisors and others on the impact of those tax changes on investment in the economy. And we will put out computer code so that everyone can see what we're doing. And that was suggested by advisors, and it's a great idea. And so that is the kind of commitment that we're going to
okay. Because I want to believe the CBO's analysis, okay? I really do. But when you guys are so far off on these really important things like the deficit, okay, and like inflation, then it makes it more difficult. In addition to serving on the Budget Committee, I also sit on the House Appropriations Committee, which drafts Congress's discretionary spending bills each fiscal year. Under Section 402 of the Budget Act, bills reported by the Appropriations Committees are exempt from mandatory CBO cost estimates. As a result, appropriations bills oftentimes rely on budget gimmicks, such as emergency designations, rescissions, fee offsets, that obscure the true programmatic levels versus the actual spending that will occur. This makes it harder for members of Congress to make informed decisions when key information is unclear. So, Dr. Schwegel, what type of analysis on appropriations bills does the CBO already produce?
So we produce a lot of information that goes to the appropriators.
Right.
We've been increasing the analysis that we put out on our website And I'm sorry, I don't have at the tip of my tip of my tongue, what the change from what we used to do to what we do now. So I will have to come back to you. And Mr. Grothman, who's here earlier, and I have talked about it in the past, but I'm sorry, it's escaping me right now. So
Okay,
I'll come back to you.
one last quick question. 2017, your predecessor, former CBO Director Keith Hall, testified before this committee that CBO was developing a plan to provide account-level analysis of appropriations bills to all members of Congress and the public. So what is the status of that plan, and is it being implemented?
Quick answer, please.
With what?
Quick answer.
Quick answer. Can I just say, I'll come back to you because I want to make sure I get it right. It's something that since Keith was director, we've been working on and talking to the appropriators. And again, it's Mr. Grothman is focused on as well. So if it's okay, I'll come back to you and make sure I have the exact.
Okay, thank you, because as an appropriator, that's very important to me.
And to me as well, I shared that concern.
Thank you, and I yield.
Thank you.